Hello, this is Aaron Kane. We are going over Lab 2. So we needed to do a sample calculation and then also explain basically the summary, the conclusion, or why we did this experiment. So we'll start with a calculation and we'll kind of just walk through what we did to get our table. So we were given pH. Basically from there the next step is we wanted to find our concentration in the second column here. So basically what we did is we did the inverse log of our pH. That gave us our concentration here. Then I'll swap over to the formula to find our concentration of our bases. We wanted to use this formula right here. So we wanted to use kW, which is 1 times 10 to the negative 14th, divided by the concentration of our acids in here. So basically 1 times 10 to the 14th divided by this 0.01, that gave us our OH concentration. Then from there, we were given our pKa. Basically, pKa plus pKb always equals 14. So basically, we could have added these up. Each one equals 14. But using our pKa, we can then calculate for our Ka. So let's flip back to the formula. So I used this formula right here. There it is. So we were given our Ka. We want to give our Kb. So basically at that point we can go 1 times 10 to the negative 14th. If we're trying to find Ka, we can just divide this over and divide it by our Kb. If we're trying to find Kb, we can swap the Ka over and divide it by our Ka. And that's how we found the other figures on here. Now, last but not least was kind of the conclusion, or basically why we did this experiment. Basically, it dealt with acids and bases. It first started off with what is an acid, what is a base, kind of the history behind it, and then it went into pH. So acid, anything below 7, you have a base, anything above 7, all the way up to 14. And then basically from there it was how do you calculate the different components of an acid or a base. So everything from pH, or again you have your concentration of your acids, concentration of your bases, and then you have your pKa, pKb. Again, you said in class anything basically with a P, you're dealing with pH, so it's basically another way of doing your pH of your acid or pH of a base. So basically throughout this lab we learned how to calculate basically to get back to our pH or figure out what is an acid and what is a base. And then also with that in mind, we also had questions such as this one, basically how to determine how strong or how weak an acid is. So again, kind of an overall basic understanding of what's an acid, what's a base, what do they mean, and then what does that mean for the overall reaction if you have an acid or a base. So until week 3.